audience. If the audience is not with you, not listening because they are bored, if they cannot follow the content or do not feel addressed, your presentation will indeed go to nothing. It depends on the recipient horizon of your audience. However, characteristics of your audience such as social background, previous education, and professional perspective must also be taken into account. If the same legal lecture is given to judges, police officers, prosecutors, or lawyers, it will be perceived differently, depending on their professional perspective. Who will give the lecture? And you are the person who gives the presentation. It is your presentation style and your personality that determine whether your presentation is successful and what resonates with your counterpart. If another person were to give the same lecture, it would be a different lecture, perhaps not in terms of content, but in terms of the manner of delivery and the result. What resonates with which listener, what sticks, what touches, what stimulates thought, also depends on the person of the speaker. Just as there are different interpersonal sympathies, two different speakers will be able to appeal to one or the other audience more or less well and reach them with the talk. Of course, it is not within your control whether an audience member is tired or unfocused at the moment and therefore not listening. However, it is important to reach the largest possible group of listeners in the best possible way. This is the art of communication. How communication works. The means of communication are quite crucial when it comes to reaching the audience in the best possible way during your presentation. Man is a social being. He does not live alone in the world. He is in relationships with other people and interacts with them. This means that there is a constant exchange between people. Several people interact with each other. This exchange constitutes communication. Communication also takes place during a lecture. Although it is primarily the speaker who speaks, he is in an exchange relationship with his listeners. They take in the information. They understand what is said or not. They can understand it or not. They are of the same opinion or of a different opinion. They react to the information by asking questions, agreeing, disagreeing, disinterested. This reaction in turn comes back to the speaker. He reacts to it. His reaction comes back to the audience, and so on. In addition, the presenter can also actively involve his audience in the lecture. As you can see, a lot of communication takes place during a lecture as well. What is communication? You can't not communicate. This is a statement by communication scientist Paul Watzlawick. Even when one does not speak, nonverbal communication takes place. The term communication is derived from the Latin verb communicare, to share something with someone, to let someone know something, to let someone participate. Communication therefore involves both sharing information and participating in the emotional life of the other person. Words convey factual content. Body language can underline spoken language and also independently send messages about the speaker, his or her relationship to the recipient, or about the situation in which the speaker and recipient find themselves. Communication plays a role in every interpersonal relationship. People who communicate with each other are in different situations. They are influenced by their background, by experiences they have had, and by their current mood. They come together in a specific situation in which communication takes place. This can be a professional context, but also a meeting in leisure time. The people do not know each other at all, or they are longtime friends. They meet by chance or come together for a specific purpose, training, teaching, celebration. They communicate on different levels through language or even without language through gestures and facial expressions. It is easy to talk past each other and misunderstand each other. Interpersonal communication is the exchange of information between at least two people. It takes place in different ways, verbal, nonverbal, paraverbal, and in different ways, speech, writing. It is a complicated process. The person who speaks sends on the one hand statements about certain contents and facts, or also own thoughts, wishes, and feelings. In addition, however, she always sends information about herself. A distinction is made between verbal communication, which takes place via spoken language,